Okay, so I think yesterday's class we winded your module number 2, network theorems. So today we'll start off with your new module, that is module number 3. So the last module what left out in your syllabus. Okay, so before going for that, any doubts anyone till the last class? So yesterday we finished maximum power transform theorem. So I told you have 5 theorems which carries 40 marks. So if you know the concept of KCL and KVL, you can go ahead. Okay. So today we'll start with your model number 3. So the name tells transient behavior and initial conditions. I'll repeat, transient transient behavior and initial conditions. Okay. So before going for that, can anyone tell me what is the meaning of the word transient? Have you heard this word transient here? Anyone? Yeah? I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
So have you heard the word transient? Okay, so let's try to discuss what is the meaning of transient first. So what all things you learned in earlier 4 modules, except your Z transform. So I think remaining part we have completed, right? So what is the thing you're going to do cover now? In this model number 3, again you need a concept of your KCL and KVL. I'll just try to summarize what all things you're going to learn in this model number 3. Then we'll go one by one. Okay. So you're going to start with the basics. What is the meaning of transient? And what is the meaning of initial conditions? And some mathematical differential equation formula you need to understand. Apart from that, you need to know what are the initial conditions you need to apply for any given network. So again I told KCL, KVL concept is must. Okay. So then you will be learning with respect to your passive elements. So I hope everyone got what is the meaning of passive elements. Yes or no? Do you know difference between passive and active elements? I'm asking you people only. Passive and active elements difference. My voice is audible here. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, active and passive elements. I think you already went through this. So what is the meaning of active and passive element? I'm asking. No one?
So active elements provide energy to the circuit, whereas passive elements take the energy from the source itself.
Good. So you can give example of your RLC element as a passive element, right? So active
Yes,
elements nothing but your voltage source and current source. Correct? So this is what you learned, no? So now in this chapter, you're going to add a concept called initial condition. Then we will deal how exactly your passive elements varies with respect to your initial conditions. Okay. So till here you may expect for 4 to 5 marks or maximum 6 marks. So remaining 30 to 34 marks because it's a full module of 2 questions, right? So you'll be having a concept called as excitation with respect to your DC and AC. So excitation means if voltage is there, what is the variation? If voltage is not there, what is the variation with respect to your transient response? So I will repeat the word transient means nothing but with respect to time. So how the variations is going to happen with respect to my time. So simple things. So assume that I have given 5 volt of supply and some current is going to flow across a network. So particular resistor or particular capacitor or particular inductor, when a supply is on, at what time the current is reaching this individual RLC element with respect to time. That is what you are going to learn in this module. Am I clear? So transient behavior means the way we are going to analyze the circuit with respect to time, right? So when you switch on the battery, how the electrons flows, nothing but the flow of electrons, nothing but current, right? So how the current flows with what time, whether it is in reaching in seconds, what time of seconds, 1 second, 2 second to reach the elements is. So it is like a practical oriented. You have called a concept called excitation. Excitation means with respect to your supply. So in this, so DC excitation again, you will be having 3 need to learn about. Am I audible?
Voice breaking, sir.
Yeah, just a minute. Let that bad network symbol goes off. Yeah, now it's audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So with respect to excitation, so remaining 34 marks you are going to get from DC excitation topic and AC excitation topic. So individually it is going to be split of 20 marks. Okay. So DC excitation you can expect one full question and AC excitation you can expect one full question. So in this, what is the thing you're going to learn is with respect to your RLC circuit. So that to not parallel if your RLC are in series. So then what is a combination of DC excitation and AC excitation? Okay. So if you go with DC excitation for 20 marks, you will be learning with respect to resistor inductor in series, that is one derivation. In that again you will get two concepts, driven and undriven. So if I say driven means supply is there, undriven means we're not going to consider supply. Okay, so I'll repeat. DC excitation topic covers 20 marks, one full question in this module. What is the thing you're going to learn is, so you'll be learning three categories in this. One is your inductor and resistor circuits are in series. Okay. Then what is the response you can obtain by applying time? That is what transient behavior. So in this RL circuit, again two concept comes. One is driven, one more is undriven. So driven means what? Supply is there. Undriven means supply is not there. That is a simple difference. Okay. So similarly, you're dealing with RC, resistor capacitor in series, same driven undriven. And last is RLC. So when your resistor, inductor, capacitor, all three are in series, if it is driven, what happens? If it is not driven, what happens? So these three topics covers 6 derivation. I'll repeat. DC excitation has three main topics, right? RL, RC and RLC. So in this, individually you'll be having two derivations, totally 6 derivation and problems on that 6 derivation. So if you're able to understand this much, that will be your one full question from module number 3. Am I clear till here? Am I clear till here, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next part, that is your second question, that is one more 20 marks question from this module, is purely based on your AC excitation. So how we are learning the things using DC, same thing with respect to RL, RC, RLC with respect to AC supply. So DC supply we have learned in the first part. So we're going to learn AC supply, that is for one more 20 marks. Again 6 more derivation and problems on that. Okay. So the concept is, if you are able to understand how to solve the derivations in your DC excitation, the same thing repeats, right? So you can answer the full 40 marks questions in this chapter. Am I clear? Everyone, you got the overview of this model number 3, what you're going to learn? So you're going to learn about the transient behavior as well as the initial conditions of a given network. So transient behavior means with respect to time. So how your network is going to vary with respect to time. If time is 0, what happens? If time is greater than 0, what happens? Is it fine, everyone? Till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me start with the simple definition. See, there are two things you need to have awareness in this definition wise. So there will be two concepts coming as steady state as well as your transition state. So steady state means whatever changes happens with respect to my network if your branch current and your node voltages. So whatever changes with respect to your time I'm talking, okay? So whatever changes happens, so with respect to my network, I'm going to call it as what? Transition. So it is changing from one position to other position. Transition means what? Switching from one position to other position. So if there is a variation with respect to my branch current and node voltages, so they are called as a transient condition. Okay. Similarly, if I say steady state means, so any network in which the branch currents and node voltage. So these are the two factors you're going to find, right? So branch current and node voltages are not changing with respect to time. So if it doesn't change with respect to time, I'm going to call such kind of condition as steady state condition. So if it is a transition period or a transition state, it means what here? There will be a changes. So it means there won't be a constant or no change with respect to your branch current and node voltages. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you got through this, so straight away we will move to some basic formulas what you need to remember to solve the derivation what I told about AC and DC excitation. So let's move on to that. So just check out screen is visible. Is it visible here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can look at the things what I told. You just call it. So I'll just come back to this basic differential equation now. See, this is a general mathematical equation what is displayed there. You can see there. So A0, A1, A2 are the constant terms, and you can see differentiation that depends upon the order. So this is your nth order differential equation, which is equals to your voltage V of t, right? So if I say first order differential equation, so what I should do, I just need to substitute the values of n as 1 in the above equation, then you are going to get this equation. Am I clear? So A0 is a constant term. So in place of n, we have replaced 1. So it becomes first differentiation. Okay. So this is what the base formula for first order differential equation. So this can be categorized into two. One is homogeneous, one is non-homogeneous. So homogeneous means your V of t will be equal to 0. I'll repeat. So differential equation are further classified into homogeneous and non-homogeneous. See, in general, homo means what? Have you heard the word homo? Homogeneous?
Same.
Same, or I can tell one direction. Homo means one direction. If I say hetero, multi-dimension. Okay. So classified homogeneous and non-homogeneous. So in the same equation. So what equation is visible on the screen, right? So if you make this V of t as 0, that becomes your homogeneous equation. Similarly, if it is retaining V of t, it is called as non-homogeneous equation. So depending upon this, we are going to do the derivation and problems further. Am I clear till here? Everyone,
Yes, sir.
is it fine till here? Okay. So let's move on. So just look at the screen. This is what the thing I told. So now we will go with a general as well as particular solution. See, these are all the things you can expect for 6 to 8 marks. They may ask you to define So then they may ask you to derive homogeneous and non-homogeneous equations also. So for that purpose, I am doing this topic. So first part, basic definition. Then second part, we discuss about a differential equation. In that two categories, homogeneous, non-homogeneous. So next, coming to next part is, so there is a topic called general solutions and particular solutions. So what is the meaning of this? So we'll try to understand now. So this general and particular solution is applied for both homogeneous as well as non-homogeneous condition. Okay, so we'll try to solve a small derivation now. So look at the heading now, it's a homogeneous equation. So what will happen for my difference equation is, so V of t becomes 0. That is the first thing you should know. So now ultimate goal of this derivation is to find what is my current I. So to find that current, we need to do some simplification now. So what are the possible simplifications we can do? We will try to do it. So you can see the next expression, right? So your A1 coefficient went to your RHS. So we are trying to make only di by dt such a way that if I apply integration, I am going to get my I. Okay. So integration on both sides is what happened. So you can see after doing integration, some K1 constant is also occurring, right? So what is the integration of your di by dt? Nothing but I can write ln. Can I? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Integration of di by dt, I can write as ln.
Yes, sir.
So similarly, you can look at here. So right hand side minus a1 by a0 is your constant term. That is why it is coming out. So left out is integration of 1 into dt. So you know integration of constant is what? T, right? So integration of 1 is t. That's why t is there plus k1. Any doubts anyone till here? Any doubts anyone till here? Is it fine till here?
No, sir.
Homogeneous equation, simplify, then apply integration. So you're going to get ln I equals to. Okay. So then what they have done here? Can you tell me what has happened here? This part. How you got ln and exponential term there?
But taking land on both sides.
Taking ln on both sides. So there constant you can see this is separate and this is separate. You're just taking ln on both sides, right? So after that you can see here. So your K1 is nothing but your ln K. So K1 is nothing but your ln of K. So I hope everyone remember the ln xy formula. Do you remember ln xy formula here? What is ln xy equals to? Is it called as ln x plus ln y?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that formula you just need to have awareness here because that is where we are going to implement that. Look at there. So we know that K1 is equal to ln K, right? So this is in the form of what? Look at this. Is it like your ln x plus ln y concept?
Yes, sir.
So that is why you can implement ln xy formula. See, hence your RHS become ln x into y. So x, k, y is this, or you can take xy, either of this, not an issue because it's a product, correct now? So this is what the thing you got. So from this to I can cancel ln on both sides. What is left out is current. I is equals to k into e power minus a1 by a0 into t. Is it fine to everyone? Is it done till here? Any doubts? Any doubts here? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now see whatever things you got here, this is called as a general solution. See the topic was, what was the topic here? Do you remember? I told the heading as general and particular solution with respect to homogeneous and non-homogeneous. Correct? So in this, whatever the equation you obtained, I, This is called as your general solution or general equation. But to get the particular equation, you need to know what is its constant K. Agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what you should do here is you just need to equate this current to next coefficient. See, you already have a coefficient of A1 and A0, right? So next coefficient will be A2. So you want the next equation, right? That is a particular equation means let me equate my current to A2 and let me take the time t equal to 0. So if I say t equal to 0, it means what? What will happen to my K? What is the value of K? If I make I as A2 and if I take T as 0, what is the value of K?
A2, sir.
A2. That's it, right? See, this T becomes 0 means it is like e power 0. What is e power 0 equals to?
1, sir.
1. So since e power 0 is 1 and if I consider I for the particular solution as next coefficient A2, so we got K answer as A2. So that is what done here. Just look at here. Look at now. So K into e power this T has become 0. I have equated my I for the next term at T is equal to 0. So hence we got a particular solution as A2 into e power minus A2. See, so A2 and A1, A0 all are coefficients, right? So we have eliminated the value of K from the general equation and we obtained a new equation that is called as particular solution. Any doubts? Anyone till here? Is it fine here till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So homogeneous, is it fine? So just scroll once from the beginning. So homogeneous equation, you just did manipulation, apply integration, ln on both sides. Then we know the ln xy, nothing but ln x plus ln y formula. Dump that, you got a general equation. So from the general equation to get a particular solution, equate the current to next coefficient. So you're going to get the particular solution also. Okay, so let's move on to see this is one derivation you can expect for 5 to 6 marks. So this is helpful to solve the problems also. So just have an awareness about that. So coming to next topic called as non-homogeneous equation. So you can look at the things, the non-homogeneous equation, the generalized first order equation, how can be written is differentiation of I plus PA equals to Q. Okay, where P is a constant and Q is called as a variable. So I hope everyone knows the difference between constant term and variable term. Constant means what? Variable means what here? Yeah, I'm asking you only.
So variable means it is dependent on the conditions which are given, sir, and constant it's
Okay.
independent of the terms which is given,
Okay.
sir.
Correct. So constant means it is fixed value. So variable means we can keep change according to the condition. Correct? So let's move on to derivation now. So in order to solve this non-homogeneous derivation and to get the expression for I. So how we got I in the previous category, right? Homogeneous. Same we want to get here. So for that, I want everyone to remember this equation. So di by dt plus pi equals to q is a generalized equation. Okay. So for this, in order to get your I term, so we need to multiply both sides with some integrating factor called as e power pt. So you can look at here, e power pt has been multiplied. So after multiplying, look at the equation. So e power pt di by dt is what? A new equation. Okay. And how we wrote earlier, like ln of xy is with respect to your ln x plus ln y. Similarly, we have formula of dxy is equal to x into dy plus y into dx. So this is your mathematics formula. Do you remember? Everyone? Do you remember the formula here? So just recollect the formula once. So dxy. So differentiation of x into y, nothing but x into differentiation of, see, I hope you remember, right? First function
Yes,
differentiation
sir.
of second function plus second function differentiation of first function. Is it fine, everyone? Do you remember it's rule called as what rule? What rule? Is it product rule or quotient rule?
Product rule, sir.
Product rule. Good. So first function differentiation of second. See, same way you can get in integration also, right? So first function differentiation of second function plus second function into differentiation of first function. Add the value of x and y here. If we consider x as this equation, x becomes I here and y pt. So just substitute x and y value and check out what will happen. Just look at the equation now. So what has happened here? What the made got that everyone? Is it visible here? Am I audible? Is it again bad network? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
now apply that logic. Look at here. So what I told, x is I and y is p e power pt. See, d by dt, that is what differentiation d indicates, right? So look at here, x is I and y is e power pt is equals to x dy plus y dx logic has been implemented here. Correct? Is it fine here? So I think x is this side and y is this side. So is it fine till here? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now tell me how we got this step. What is this equal to? So look at this RHS. Is it equal to your Q into e power pt concept now? So this equation
Yes,
can
sir.
I dump directly here? Q into e power pt.
Yes, sir.
So now ultimate goal is to find the current. Correct now? So since we are in differentiation, how can I get my I value? I need to integrate, right? So that's why we are taken integration on both side. So if we take integration on both side, so the first term becomes I into p. So this becomes integration plus some k constant term. Any doubts? Anyone till here? Any doubts? Anyone till here? So then what is this last equation? See, I told I want only I. So this e power pt has been transferred to this side. So it is a reciprocal, right? That's why you got minus pt. Cut and draw. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you need to remember this formula I is equals to e power minus pt as a non-homogeneous linear first order differential equation. So homogeneous and non-homogeneous, I hope you got the difference to find the value of I at particular time. Okay. So here the base formula just need to have idea. So in general, we are going to tell particular plus complementary is what your general solution is. So this base formula just have an idea. Okay. So same way I can represent. So you can see transient portion. I hope I already told you what is the meaning of transient portion or portion here. So transient means what? With respect to time, right? So how we are going to vary with respect to time. So you just worry about this formula. This I is equal to e power minus pt. So this is for your non-homogeneous and the above one is for your homogeneous. So this will complete the simple derivations of homogeneous and non-homogeneous. So any doubts, anyone till here? Am I clear till here?
Yes,
Shall we
sir.
proceed? So next topic, after knowing this, straight away you can move to initial conditions in network now. See, straight away to go to the main topic of excitation, you need to know all these basics because this is required to solve the derivation as well as the problem. For that purpose, we are discussing this. Okay. So let's move on to next initial conditions. So I already told initial conditions means what will happen for my circuit when t is equal to 0 and if t is greater than 0 or less than 0 concept. Okay. So before going for this, let me come back. I think in earlier classes, I talked something about t of 0 and t of 0 minus and t of 0 plus. Am I? So this concept will come in this chapter now. Do you remember this three? Everyone? Can anyone tell me what is the difference between this? I think we already went through this concept. In which topic? Was it in Laplace?
Yes, sir. Laplace.
Yeah, what is the meaning of t of 0 here? T of 0 means what? See, I told you t means with respect to time, right? So time means we need to play with respect to our x-axis. Correct? So this is your time 0, right? So if I say t 0, it means exactly at this position. So exactly at this position. Okay, na? So what was learned in the Laplace? If it is t 0 minus, means what? It is approaching towards 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the values of time which is entering towards 0 from the negative end, I can call it as t of 0 minus. Similarly, t of 0 plus means what? So which is leaving from this 0. Correct? So it may be positive 0.00001 or 0.0002, whatever it is. If it is entering to this particular point at 0, it is t minus, and if it is leaving, it is called t plus. So this much you remember, right? Everyone, is it fine till here? This much you remember?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
now with respect to your initial condition, so t of 0 minus indicates it is an instant. Okay, I'll repeat, it is an instant at which condition of network is not at change. It is a instant at which condition of network is not at change, but it is about to be changed. Am I clear? So still it has not changed, but it is going to be changed is what the meaning of t of 0 minus in this initial condition category. Am I clear? Is it clear with this first point, everyone? I'm audible here. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, t of 0 plus indicates it is an instant at which condition of network is just changed, because from 0 it is passing away, right? So the condition already changed. So just now it has changed. Earlier was it has not yet changed and it is going to be changed. That is the difference between t of 0 minus and t of 0 plus in this particular initial condition chapter. Am I clear? Am I
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Okay. So let me move back to that screen. Is it visible here? Screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
This is what the conditions we talked. So exactly at t is equal to 0. So initial conditions will occur. So 0 minus the instant at which what I told, and 0 plus instant at which it is going to be changed. So these two things just have an awareness, because the same concept will occur in your problems also. Okay. So now let me come back to next topic called as initial conditions in your passive elements. So I hope you remember the passive elements. resistor, inductor and your capacitor. See here what you should know, you just need to remember the formula. So what is the formula to find my corresponding voltage and corresponding current with respect to my inductor, resistor and capacitor at initial conditions. So this is what the thing you're going to know here. So if it is a resistor, it remains with the same formula. V is equals to I into R. So this is your Ohm's law. Correct now? So this remains same. So similarly, if you want I means I is equals to V by R. So there is no variation with respect to my resistor. Coming to inductor, you can look at the symbol here. Inductor. So L is a denotation, right? So inductor current flow is IL, means inductor current, and corresponding what? Inductor voltage VL. So the formula to find this. So if you want to find V, we used to put what? V is equals to I into R. So in place of R, inductor is there, and I can't write that I because there is a variation of this magnetic field. So I'm going to take differentiation of that. So dIL by dt. So this is the formula you need to remember while solving the problem whenever inductor come to picture. Okay. So similarly, there is a formula to calculate the current also. So what you should do, you just need to apply integration for my VL. So once VL is got right, that answer you can do integration with a constant term 1 by L. Am I clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, whenever initial condition comes, so you need to know the logic. I think we took the logic same there also. So the logic was at time 0 or at initial condition, we can tell T of 0 minus is equal to T of 0 plus. So whenever we see the condition this exactly equal, right? So that time what you should know, so 0 minus and 0 plus also same. That is what the meaning of this, right? So just remember this formula. Let me go back to next capacitor. This formula is required from this topic. That's it. Okay. So same way come to capacitor here. So across capacitor IC is a current flowing and VC is a voltage, right? So we know that current again V by C is a formula. I is V by R. So in place of this, so it's C into dVC by dt. I hope you got the difference between the previous to this. How we got inductor formula? It should be reverse operation for your capacitor formula. Correct na yaar? So for voltage you got differentiation, for current you got integration. Is it reversed now? Is it reversed?
Yes, sir.
So that is what the change you should have an awareness here. If it is capacitor, so if it is a current, there should be differentiation. If it is a voltage, there should be a integration. So this formula you just have in your mind. Just make a note. I'll just scroll down once more. First formula for resistor, it's V is equals to I into R, and for inductor, voltage is differentiation and current is integration. So now this concept gets repeats with inverse operation. If it is a capacitor, okay, and integration of your voltage and differentiation of your current. Is it fine till here, everyone? Is it fine here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is a small table now. So just look at the table which tells how the variations with respect to time 0 and with respect to time infinity. So just go back to the table now. Okay. So after knowing that formulas, so last thing you should know in this before going for your main topic, DC excitation. So you can just look at the table here. So the 3 columns what tells elements is there. So then behavior is going to be telling after excitation. After excitation means what? After applying your supply. Excitation I told you it's nothing but a supply. And behavior as T equal to 0 and T tends to infinity. That is your steady state condition. So at the beginning I told you what is the meaning of steady state, right? So what is the meaning of steady state? I told you. Any network in which the branch current as well as the node voltages are not changing with respect to time. Such kind of state are called as steady state. Okay, you just look at here. If element is R, so it remains same in both the states. If element is inductor, at time is equal to 0 instant, it is a open circuit, and if it is steady state, it is a short circuit. Clear? So similarly with respect to current, so you can see current source as it is there, and with respect to steady state, short circuit current. So it is like ideal current source and practical current source. Okay na? Similarly capacitor, so it is inversion of your inductor. So inductor was open circuit, right? But capacitor, your condition at t is equal to 0, it tells short circuit, and at steady state it is open circuit. And similarly voltages V0 and V0. Is it fine? Got the logic of this table, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So you need to implement this when you go to problems. So till then you just have an awareness about this. So till here we completed almost 6 to 7 marks from this model number 3. So the major question is from your DC excitation. Okay. So I told how many derivations you have? How many derivations you have in DC excitation?
6, sir.
Good. So you're going to deal with RL,
6.
RC, yeah, RLC. So with respect to driven and driven for 2 derivation for one topic. So totally 6 derivations. Okay. So let's move on to the first one today, and we'll try to wind with that derivation today. So take the heading as a transient response. You can see a series RL circuit for, see, you should be very careful while reading the question. Same question will come for AC. See the same question. If I remove this DC with the AC, so if you answer DC, then completely 0 marks you're going to get. Okay. So they may ask you to derive a series RL circuit for AC excitation also. So don't be in a hurry to see only the first part and forget the remaining part. If you do like this, you're going to get 0 marks only. So only this AC DC variation will give you 10 marks. So variations. So be alert while doing the derivation in the exam. Okay. So just come back to the first one now. Look at the circuit, everyone. So there is a switch. Can I call this as a switch now? Is it switch here? Everyone, is it fine? Is it a switch?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll check out what will happen if a switch is open and switch is closed. So before that, just look at the diagram, everyone, network. So there is a resistor and inductor in series. You can see R and L. So in series and supply is given. So if supply is given, you can look at the heading is called as driven. So how the difference will come to undriven without supply, that we'll check out later. First understand the concept of driven. See, if you understand one derivation of driven RL circuit, same thing you need to do for RC, RLC also. Okay, out of 6 derivation, I just want you to understand 2 derivation. One from driven, one from undriven. So remaining 4 more you can build with the same manner, only the variation of your RLC element. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let's move on to this derivation now. So I told if switch is open, so assume that there is a network given, you can see there, right? So if switch is open, do you think any flow of current will happen?
No,
Do you
sir.
think
No,
any
sir.
flow of current will take place if switch is open?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, right? So directly we can write the current I is equal to 0.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's why this you can see here the equation. You can look at here. I minus is equal to I naught is equal to 0 is equal to I plus. So it means what? whenever switch is open, whatever conditions of time you're going to take, it is meaningless because there is no flow of electrons or current itself, hence the current becomes zero. So now the exact concept comes if it is closed. So whenever the switch is closed under the condition t greater than or equal to 0. So now you can take 0 as well as positive of zeros, means next to zeros. So when switch is closed, so what is your mesh analysis equation? When switch is closed, so this is closed now. So what is the equation here? Normal mesh equation. See, I told you, if you know mesh analysis, then it is applied to 4 modules of your syllabus. Out of 10 questions, 7 questions are based on mesh analysis and nodal analysis. So be alert with this. Yeah. Can anyone tell me mesh analysis concept here? Equation?
V
Okay, V.
minus
R IT.
We'll stick with before equation, okay? So minus R I of
T.
less than, so minus into I of t, again L,
L.
what you write for inductor? What is the formula I told you? What is the formula you should remember here? If you want me to write here. Voice is breaking. Yeah, now it's audible.
yes sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you'll stick on to the procedure here. How we used to write minus R. So current, it is not I, it is I of t because it is respect to time. So minus R I of t, and there is an inductor, right? So we used to write minus L, and what is the thing I told? Whenever inductor is there, what should be in the formula? I see, I directly can't write L into I of t. So then there is no variation with respect to my inductor and capacitor, sorry, resistor. So what should be written here?
Di by dt, sir.
Good. So it should be differentiation of my current. So d I of t divided by dt. Okay. So I'm just completing the equation now. So this is for the first two term, and again supply is there. So since supply is from minus to plus, what is the thing I should write? Plus V equal to 0. So is it what your mesh analysis equation for the given network? Understood here, everyone?
Yes sir.
Okay, good. See, we are sticking on the same procedure, nothing new here. So let me proceed. Look at now. So minus plus is there. So this is what how we wrote a normal equation. Then they have taken minus multiplication for all, so it becomes positive. Correct? Is it not here? Any doubts? Is it fine? Shall I proceed?
Yes sir.
Okay. See, ultimate goal is what here? I need to find what? Only I of t. Correct? So you can look at here. So I of t is not only in one, you have two sides. So I need to make some arrangement such a way that if I do some integration, I should get only I of t. Right? So for that they are done rearrange here. And you can look at here. After rearranging, they are divided by r. Why? You should divide by r. Why you should divide by r? What's the formula
Because the
of current
first
here?
term R can be eliminated.
That is one reason. See, look at the thing. What I want towards RHS, I want my current, right? So what is I? I is equals to V by R. Correct now?
Yes sir.
So I can get in that form also. That is what the agenda, right? Or as a friend told, if I eliminate this R, I will get only I of t. Both are possible, right? So divide R on both sides. So this R will get cancelled. So what is left out is this. Is it fine till here?
Yes sir.
Fine. So after that you can see here. So I of t is for this term also and this term also. So what they're done, they're trying to separate the variables here. So separate the variables. Look at here. So they have separated the variables here. Then if you apply your LAN on both sides, if you apply LAN on both sides or indicating on both sides, so you're going to get the answer LAN of this is equal to R by L is constant term and integration of dt is t plus some constant will come. Is it fine till here?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it fine till here? So now whatever the constant term we are going to get in this derivations, we are going to call as arbitrary constants. So arbitrary constant is a name what you can give there. Now agenda is to find this k dash. So how to find this k dash? So what is the procedure we know? Whenever any constant term is going to be found, how we did in the derivation earlier? We have taken t is equal to 0. Correct now? Correct na yaar?
Yes, sir.
So whenever arbitrary constant supposed to be found, whatever the general equation is there, substitute t is equal to 0. That is your initial condition. So initial condition is used now. So after that, will you get the answer of k dash as ln of v by r? Look at here, I of 0 and t becomes 0. So this part completely 0. So this is also 0. So left out is ln of v by r. Is it fine? Any doubts? Anyone till here? Are you able to understand the derivations here?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. So now after finding this k dash, the value has been substituted back to this general equation. So wherever k dash is there, replace with minus ln of vr. That is what you got here. Okay. So from this, again rearranging the ln term one side. So why you want to arrange this? Because we have formula of log of a minus b. Do you remember log of a minus b formula?
Yes, sir.
Logarithmic formula. What is the formula?
Log A by B, sir.
Good. So can I implement that logic here? Ln a minus ln b formula diya. So is it like ln of a by b? Look at now. A is this, b is this. Cut and draw.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, still we are not find the ultimate answer of my current. So I need to eliminate my ln means obviously we have to take antilog on both sides. So if you take antilog on both sides, so towards LHS side ln will get cancelled. Towards RHS you're going to get exponential term. Correct? Mathematics prakara. When you apply antilog on both sides, is it fine here?
Yes, sir.
From this, can we get only I of t? Just do cross multiply and take only I of t. So this is the formula what we want across inductor. So across inductor, so this is what the current flowing. Any doubts? Anyone till here? Everyone got the logic how to find the current across inductor? I'll just scroll from the top once more. So we wrote a mesh equation. See, this is the same procedure you are going to follow to solve the problem. Instead of giving values of R and L and V, the values will be given the network for you. Correct now? So that value should just dump here, get the answer. Is it fine? Fine. Got till here? Any doubts, anyone? Is it fine here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, look at the network once. What all things we're supposed to calculate? Let me glance. See, if you look at this network, I of t is what we have to calculate. We are done. So after finding I of t, we need to find VR of t and VL of t. Means the voltage across my inductor and voltage across my resistor. So if you're able to get that, that will be end of my derivation, right? So we have found the current, right? So let me go with the way to solve your voltages also. So straight away we'll go to that part. So look at here. And one more thing. So I want everyone to remember this small formula also. So this tau is called as a time constant and the value is L by R. So this L by R is helpful for you while solving the problem. So this will tell you how much seconds required to get the current flowing through your RLC element. So remember this tau formula for RC circuit, it's L by R second. So whenever you calculate the problem, you'll come to know what is the advantage of this. Just have an aware about that. So straight away, let me move to this. So look at now. So this is a formula, right? Generally, V is equals to I into R, nothing but L into dI by dt. So now what is done here? What was the answer you got from the previous current? I of t has been substituted. Correct? Certain raw. Is it fine, everyone, till here? See what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
finding now? We're trying to find the voltage across my inductor. Okay. So just apply the base formula and what are the current equation you got? Just substitute here and apply your logic of what? Differentiation. You are going to get the answer of your load voltage. Is it fine? You can look at here. Differentiation with respect to t tana. So from this V by R, there is no t term. So that way it becomes 0. Sorry now. Correct na yaar?
Yes, sir.
So next term, V by R is constant. So V by R came out and e to the power of x. What is e power x differentiation? It's a into e power x.
Yes.
So that is why you got e power x as a into e power x and this minus minus become plus. So you can look at here, RR will get cancelled. So what is left out? They are written here. And similarly, LL also get cancelled. Sorry, Indra. See RR goes, LL also gone. What is left out? V into e to the power of minus L by T. That much voltage is what is required for your inductor. Is it fine? So same way you can repeat for your resistor also. So general formula R into I of t. So R is as it is. I of t you can substitute here and you can get this without applying any differentiation because it is a simple problem. Remember the base formula. Substitute the current what you got to get the individual voltages across R and L. Any doubts? Anyone till this derivations? Am I clear to everyone with this derivation of driven? Am I?
Yes, sir.
So then we'll stop here. So next class we'll try to deal with undriven concept also. Then we'll try to solve problem on this both driven and undriven. So if you understand one, so same logic repeats for remaining also. Is it fine here, everyone? Are you able to got the things what you're going to learn in this chapter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So you can attend the entry. How many are there? 35 are there. Okay. Enter the attendance here and you can leave. So see you next class.